It's 2 a.m. You're in a deep sleep. Suddenly you feel something, a soft pressure on your chest or near your face. You open your eyes and it's your cat, quietly resting one paw on you, sitting there in silence. You think how cute and drift back to sleep. But what if I told you this moment is far deeper than it seems? Behind it lies an entire chapter of cat psychology, trust, survival instinct, and an emotional bond that your cat may only share with you. In this video, we're going to decode, one by one, every hidden reason why your cat rests their paw on you while you're asleep. And the last reason, trust me, is the most surprising of all. So stay till the end, because after this video, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. Cats are considered one of the most mysterious pets in the world. Dogs express their feelings directly wagging their tail, running, jumping. But cats? They're subtle. Every small gesture in their body language carries a full message. And the paw touch, especially when either you or they are asleep, is one of the most underrated yet most meaningful behaviours a cat can show. It's not just a random movement. Cats are calculated animals. Almost every action is tied to some instinct, memory or emotion. So when they specifically place their paw on you, not on their own spot, not on some object, it means they're making a conscious choice. Let's break down, step by step, what it actually means. The very first and most important reason is trust. Cats are naturally alert creatures. Their ancestors in the wild always had to stay alert, whether escaping predators or hunting prey. That instinct is still alive in their DNA today. That's why a cat never fully makes herself vulnerable unless she's completely certain she's safe. Now think about this. While sleeping, one of their paws is already in a relaxed position. But when they specifically lift that paw and place it on you, they're compromising their body balance a little. If anything sudden happens, it will take them longer than normal to react. That's a risk for a cat. And cats don't take risks without reason. When they take that risk with you, it directly means, I know nothing bad will happen with you here. I can let my guard down. This is their silent way of saying, you are their safe zone. Just like humans only let their guard down around people they trust, cats experience this same emotion, just without words. Now here's a fact very few people know. Cats have scent glands in their paw pads. Whenever they touch something with their paw, they leave an invisible scent on it, one humans can't smell, but other animals can detect. So when your cat places her paw on you, she's not just showing affection, she's technically marking you. This is a territorial behaviour, but not in a negative sense. It's more like possessive love. Cats only mark things that are valuable to them, their favourite sleeping spot, their favourite toy, and you, interestingly, cats are very selective about this. They don't mark every human. Only the ones they consider truly theirs. So next time your cat falls asleep with her paw resting on you, understand this, she's silently placed a stamp that says, this human belongs to me. If you're finding this interesting, hit like on the video, it helps us reach more cat lovers with this kind of content. Have you ever noticed that when you lie completely still, whether asleep or just relaxing, your cat suddenly gives you a light paw touch, almost like she's checking something? That's not a coincidence. Cats are extremely sensitive to movement and breathing patterns. When you stay motionless for a long time, no talking, no shifting, no normal signals, it triggers a subtle alert in their instincts. Their brain thinks, something's different. This doesn't feel normal. To clear up that confusion, they use their paw gently pressing to check if you're breathing, or to see if you'll react at all. Some animal behaviour experts call this a kind of wellness check. And here's an important point, cats don't do this with strangers. They only do it with people they share a deep bond with. So if your cat ever wakes you up gently with a paw on your face while you sleep, pause before getting annoyed. She may have simply been confirming that you're okay. So where did cats learn this paw behaviour in the first place? The answer goes back to the very first weeks of their life. When kittens are born, they're blind and completely dependent on their mother. While nursing, they push against their mother with their paws in a motion called kneading, which stimulates milk flow. But this action isn't just physical, it creates a deep emotional association alongside it. Safety, comfort, and the feeling that everything is okay. As this kitten grows into an adult cat, she stops nursing, but this emotional memory never fades. That pressing motion becomes permanently wired into their nervous system as a self-soothing behaviour. So when your adult cat places her paw on you, she's subconsciously reliving that same feeling from kittenhood. You've become, for her, what her mother once was: a source of safety, a place where she can fully let her guard down. This is why many cats curl up and close their eyes right after placing their paw, because that touch itself triggers a calming response inside them. Here's something else worth noticing. Not every paw touch looks the same, and the small differences actually change the meaning. If your cat rests her paw very lightly, barely any weight behind it, that's usually just casual comfort. She's simply enjoying being close to you. But if she presses down with real weight, almost like she's holding on, that's a much stronger emotional signal. It often shows up during moments when a cat feels unsettled. Maybe you were away longer than usual that day. Maybe there was a loud noise earlier. Or maybe your own routine felt a little different. In those cases, the paw becomes an anchor. She's using you to steady herself the same way she once used her mother. The location of the paw matters too. A paw resting near your face or throat is the most vulnerable placement a cat can choose, because it puts her closest to your breathing and your heartbeat, the two things she instinctively tracks. A paw on your chest usually reflects that same wellness check instinct we talked about earlier, and a paw resting on your arm or leg tends to be more about simple companionship. She just wants contact, nothing deeper analysed. None of these are random placements. Cats are precise, deliberate animals, and where they choose to rest their paw is its own small message. It also helps to compare this gesture to other affectionate behaviours cats show, because together they tell a fuller story. A slow blink, for instance, is often called a cat kiss. It's a deliberate signal of relaxation and trust, similar in spirit to the paw touch, but requiring no physical contact at all. Head-butting, or bunting, is another one. Cats have scent glands on their forehead too. So when they push their head against you, they're marking you the same way they do with their paw, just from a different location. Kneading on a blanket or on your lap is the clearest throwback to kittenhood of all these behaviours, since it's literally the same physical motion from nursing, just without the milk. When you see a cat combine several of these: a slow blink, then a headbutt, then a paw resting on your arm as she settles down, you're essentially watching her run through her entire vocabulary of trust signals in one sitting. Each one reinforces the others, and together they paint a much clearer picture than any single gesture alone. It's worth pointing out how differently this instinct shows up across species too. Dogs, for example, tend to seek contact through their whole body, leaning against you, resting their head in your lap, or pressing their entire weight against your leg. That's because dogs evolved around constant physical closeness with humans. For them, contact itself is the message. Cats, by contrast, evolved as more solitary hunters, so even their most affectionate gestures stay measured and precise. A paw is enough. It's a small, controlled offering rather than an all-in gesture, and that's exactly what makes it so significant when it happens, because for an animal whose instincts favour independence, choosing any physical contact at all is already meaningful, let alone contact that limits her own mobility. Have you ever noticed that right when you're about to get up from the couch or the bed, your cat places her paw on you at that exact moment, as if she already knew you were about to leave? Actually, she did know. Cats are experts at reading body language. They notice micro-movements that humans don't even notice in themselves, like a shift in weight, slight tension in the legs, or a change in breathing right before someone gets up. Your cat sees all of it, and when she places her paw on you at that exact moment, she's making a silent request stay. This isn't neediness. It's actually one of the purest ways a cat shows connection. Cats generally don't show vulnerability. They're independent. They hide pain. They even hide their needs. So when a cat is this openly asking you to not go even through such a small gesture, It means this is a big emotional moment for her. It's also worth mentioning that this behaviour isn't identical across every cat. Some breeds and personalities lean into physical touch far more than others. Cats that were handled a lot as kittens, or raised alongside a calm, attentive mother, tend to be more comfortable using their paws this way as adults. Rescue cats, or cats that had a rougher start in life, sometimes take longer to reach this stage, and if a rescue cat eventually starts resting her paw on you, it carries even more weight, because it means she has fully unlearned whatever made her cautious before. Age plays a role too. Older cats, especially ones who have bonded with their owner for years, tend to do this more often and more comfortably than younger cats still learning to trust their environment. A lot of owners assume that if their cat doesn't do this, it means the cat doesn't love them as much, and that's simply not true. Every cat expresses affection differently, based on personality, past experience, and even the specific relationship she has with you versus other people in the house. Some cats express trust through proximity alone, choosing to sleep near you without ever making contact. Others show it through following you room to room, or through that slow blink we talked about earlier. The paw touch is just one dialect in a much larger language. If your cat hasn't reached this stage yet, it doesn't mean the bond isn't there, it might just mean her particular way of showing it looks different. In multi-cat households, this behaviour can look even more interesting. If you have more than one cat, you may notice that only one of them ever rests a paw on you, while the others express affection in completely different ways. This usually comes down to attachment style, not favouritism on your part. Cats form individual relationships with each person in a household, the same way people do, and the one who paws at you specifically has simply decided, on her own terms, that this is how she wants to connect. It's also common for this behaviour to increase temporarily after a change in the household, a new cat joining, an older cat passing, or even furniture being rearranged, because in moments of uncertainty, cats often lean harder into the routines and people that make them feel steady. Now, the reason I mentioned at the start the rarest and deepest one, when your cat places her paw on you and keeps it relaxed, no tension, no pulling back, she's going against her most basic survival instinct. Think about what a cat needs to survive: speed, balance, the ability to leap in any direction instantly. When all four paws are on the ground, she's fully ready for any threat. But when she lifts one paw and rests it on you, she cuts her escape options in half. If something sudden happens, reacting becomes harder for her. This is her silent way of saying, I don't need to run. Not with you. In the wild, this decision could be dangerous. A cat who fully drops her guard could become vulnerable to a predator. But in that moment, your cat isn't thinking about survival, she's thinking only about connection. This is her ultimate trust signal. Not for cuteness, not to demand anything, simply because, in that moment, she chose you over her own instinct. There's one more layer to this that ties everything together: sound. Pay attention next time this happens. Does she purr while her paw is on you? A slow, steady purr combined with a relaxed paw is one of the clearest combinations of contentment a cat can express. It means every signal is aligned body language, scent marking, and vocal comfort, all pointing the same direction. If, on the other hand, the paw comes with a tense body, dilated pupils, or a low mumbling sound, that's a different story entirely, and usually means she's anxious rather than affectionate. Learning to read the whole picture, not just the paw on its own, is what actually tells you what your cat is feeling in that moment. There's actually some interesting science behind why this bond feels so powerful to us too. Studies on human-cat interaction have found that oxytocin, the same hormone released during bonding between a parent and child, rises in both the cat and the owner during calm physical contact like this. That means the paw touch isn't a one-way signal. While your cat is choosing to trust you, your own body is responding with the same chemistry that makes you feel that trust back. It's a two-way loop, which is part of why this small gesture can feel so disproportionately meaningful in the moment it happens. This two-way loop is also why cats seem to know exactly who needs comfort the most, Many owners report their cat becoming noticeably more likely to rest a paw on them during stressful periods after a bad day, during an illness, or in moments of visible sadness. While cats can't understand human emotion the way another person would, they are remarkably good at picking up on stress hormones, changes in tone of voice, and shifts in body posture. Some researchers believe this is why cats seem to show up exactly when we need them, not because they understand what we're going through, but because they're responding to physical signals that something in their environment feels different, and their instinct is to re-establish that sense of calm through contact. A quick reality check is also necessary here. In most cases, the paw touch is a positive, loving gesture. But if this behaviour suddenly changes, like the cat becoming overly clingy, or the paw touch accompanied by hissing, growling, or restlessness, it could also be a sign of stress or discomfort. If you notice such a pattern, it's worth consulting a vet, because cats hide their pain and discomfort very well. And sometimes behaviour changes are the only clue. Sudden increases in this behaviour can also follow changes at home: a new pet, a move to a new house, a change in your work schedule, since cats are far more sensitive to disruption than they let on. If the clinginess comes with a loss of appetite, hiding, or excessive grooming, those are the signs worth watching more closely, not the paw touch itself. And if you want to gently encourage this kind of bond rather than wait for it to happen on its own, consistency is really the only thing that works. Cats build trust through repetition: the same calm voice, the same gentle handling, the same predictable routine, day after day. Forcing affection never works with a cat, it usually backfires. But sitting quietly nearby, letting her choose when to approach, and rewarding that closeness with calm attention, rather than sudden excitement, is exactly how most owners eventually earn this gesture from a cat who didn't show it before. One last thing worth remembering: the way you respond in that moment actually matters more than most people realise. If your cat rests her paw on you and you immediately react by moving her paw away, sitting up quickly, or pulling back, you're accidentally telling her that this offer of trust wasn't welcome. Over time, a cat that gets this reaction repeatedly may simply stop offering the gesture at all. The best response, if you want to encourage this bond, is stillness. Let the paw stay where it is. Keep your breathing calm, and if anything, offer a slow blink back. That tiny bit of reciprocation is often enough to deepen the behaviour rather than discourage it. So these were all the hidden reasons why your cat places her paw on you while sleeping, from trust to territorial marking, from wellness checks to childhood memories of her mother, from the specific spot she chooses to rest it, to how this instinct compares across species and households, to the sound she makes while doing it, to the science of oxytocin flowing between you both, and finally, that ultimate trust that outweighs even her survival instinct. Next time your cat gives you this small gesture, pause for a second and really feel that moment, because it's not just a random movement. It's her way of telling you how important you are in her world. If you found this video informative, please hit like, share a small habit of your own cat in the comments, and if you enjoy deep, interesting animal behaviour content like this, subscribe so you don't miss the next video. See you in the next video. Until then, take care of your furry friends.